السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالك؟ كيف الحال؟ كيف اليوم? How's everything? I wanted to come on this channel that I created some months ago to share my journey with all things Arabic. So it's me, Latoya. So my name is Latoya. On this channel, I may also go by Fatima. That is what my mother-in-law named me. So if I interchange between those two things, it's the same person, but I just have an American name and then an Arabic name as well. So, Bismillah. I wanted to come here today to talk about my journey with learning Arabic and where I'm kind of at now. I thought now would be a great time to document now that I'm truly in the weeds of all things Arabic, mashallah. So way back when, I would say probably like around 2018, 2019, I was in my undergrad at the time getting a comprehensible religion or comparative, religion degree. And of course, I would come across Arabic words here and there when studying about different religions that use the Arabic language. And then in 2020, I wanted to start learning Arabic more seriously. I had just reverted to Islam, had married my husband, and I was like, now is the time to do it. My husband, by the way, is from Yemen, and so we now have a son together, and he's 3 years old, speaking so much, mashallah, and I wanted to be able to raise him as a bilingual child. I know that it's very important to me. Every time I hear someone who is from the U.S., but maybe has roots other places. For instance, I have a lot of friends who has roots in Mexico, Peru even. I'm always like, oh my God, are you going to teach your kids Spanish? Do you speak to your children in Spanish? For me, that's just very important. So anywho, in 2020, I started to use Duolingo, but I was pregnant. I was a newlywed. It wasn't working. 2021, I had just had my son, new mom, transitions with jobs, not to mention still going through the pandemic at that time, wasn't working. So I took an entire year off of even thinking about learning a language after that point. So we're thinking about 2022 right now. And so then at the end of 2023, around September, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. Downloaded a whole bunch of different apps to go through the process. So many. Like I'll probably put screenshots throughout right now to talk about the different apps that I used. But at any rate, that was at the end of September. And then October, of course, October 7th, tragedy strikes. It gets everybody's attention of what's happening in Palestine. And so someone that I follow on Instagram that is there on the ground, she posts a lot in English and in Arabic. And so I wanted to be able to understand what she was saying. And I was like, I feel more than ever drawn to learning about the language. And so obviously, in addition to me being Muslim and, the Quran being written in Arabic, I knew that it was super important for me religiously. It's super important for me family. And now, like with the world and like world news and people sharing their experiences, I felt it was even more important. So now I'm like, this goes beyond like a little hobby. I want it to be a lifestyle. Like I really want to be, inshallah, bilingual in English, my mother tongue, and Arabic, inshallah. So with that being said, I took a little bit of a break after all that was happening because I wanted to do my research on what was happening on that part of the world. And then in November, I got a tutor. At the time, I told my tutor that I wanted to focus on Yemeni dialect. As many of you know, if you've studied anything about Arabic, Fusha, aka Modern Standard Arabic, is a written language. It's not necessarily spoken, meaning that some people may speak it. Obviously, if you're listening to the media and things of that nature, but in the day-to-day life of Arabs, wherever they may be in the world, they're going to speak a colloquial dialect that is familiar to them in their region. So I got a tutor who specialized in the Yemeni dialect, and I was going through things with her, but then I felt there was like a pull and a tug, just simply because I was learning Modern Standard Arabic in the language apps, and she gave me resources that was also in modern standard Arabic, but then would want to speak to me in Yemeni. So it became kind of confusing. So I had sessions with her twice a week, and then it went to about once a week until March of this year, whenever Ramadan came. And so I wanted to focus on the holy month, of course. And I didn't want to have any distractions from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that time. So I wanted to just focus on reading the Quran and just doing that. And so I did, right? Alhamdulillah. And so I was like, I want to be enrolled in an Arabic course. Now, the reason why I went that route is because I'm someone that needs structure. For me, having just a tutor and not being an actual course where I was being quizzed, graded, I was able to work with other people, language learners, and things of that nature. I felt like being in a course would be more beneficial for me because, number one, I absolutely love school. Like, I'm a lifelong learner for real. And I always feel such satisfaction with being in school and having things graded and having to be held to a certain standard. Because it's like, Latoya, Fatima, you need to study because next Tuesday you have a quiz. Next Tuesday you have an oral exam. Next Tuesday you have to do this, whatever. So for me, that is the reason why I went the traditional route. I also know that, I learned Spanish in high school many moons ago. It did not necessarily work for me then because I didn't put in the work outside of the classroom. No, class is not going to teach you anything if you don't apply yourself outside of it. Now, especially in the world of comprehensible input, I definitely believe that you should be immersing yourself in the language by listening to music, watching TV shows, watching YouTube videos, doing different things outside of the classroom to apply what you've learned and also to retain what you've learned. That is super important, right? And so for me, I knew that, okay, I'm going to enroll in a course, earn another degree, and take my time between now, at the time it was June 2024, and then at the end of 2025, I would have my degree and I'll be able to see all the work that I put in, giving it the best that I could give myself over the course of the next year and a half, right? So for me, that is the reason why I chose that. It has nothing to do with like, oh my God, this program is going to save me. It doesn't matter what program you sign up for. If you don't apply yourself and actually challenge yourself to participate in the language and actually make it a part of your lifestyle, it's not going to work. Like that is what's proven. And I do think that traditional learning in general has its place. But this is now giving me the tools and the resources that I need to guide me. Even the book that we have as well, it tells you that as well. Like, listen, whatever you do in class is only the tip of the iceberg. You have to go beyond that. And my professor as well, Ustada, she gave so many different tips and tricks on how to retain the language outside of the classroom as well. Like, creating a YouTube account that just focuses on the language, an Instagram account that just focuses on the language, Twitter account, aka X, that just focuses on the language. Whatever it is, like immersing yourself in that type of way. And so I've done those things as well, right? So anywho, I wanted to just kind of give a introduction to the channel because I really do, inshallah, want to document this journey because I feel like I'm now recording myself a lot more because of class. I'm also working in groups. I'm also able to compare my knowledge to other people, not to compare and steal away my joy, but to just see like, okay, I'm not in this alone. There's however many people in this class with me that will go along this journey if they're going to complete the degree, and they will be with me. You know what I mean? Like I do have a class buddy now. And so now I feel like, okay, cool. Like I'm learning with someone. I can share with people. I can collaborate with people on different things as far as group projects and all that other stuff, right? And then I also have the help of my ustada to be there with me as well throughout this and be able to see my growth between now and the next year and a half, with which luckily she is the professor for all things Arabic at this particular institution. and has been for many, many years. And I've even like read reviews about her online, and she's great. She is great so far. Alhamdulillah. So with that being said, not gonna hold you any longer, but if you want to be a part of this journey with me and you want to be able to hear me speak and see how I grow and see how I balance learning Fusha, and how I speak in the Yemeni dialect with my husband, definitely stay tuned, because inshallah I'll be able to post more on this channel to kind of share my journey. What that looks like, I don't know, maybe once a week. But I have a whole lot of recordings in my voice notes that I can definitely share, just so that you can see what it's like, so that you know that you're not alone, whether it be Arabic or not. Because I listened to, and when I was like learning about how to learn in general, I was watching videos of people who were learning Spanish as a second language, Japanese as a second language. For me, that was just really interesting, because it's like, okay, I know Spanish speakers around me, so it's like I can relate to that. And then as far as Japanese, I know that that's also one of the languages that is a little bit more difficult or different to learn for native English speakers. And so just seeing people do it, I'm like, okay, they can do it, I can do it. And not because I'm better than them, but because we're all humans and we all have a certain ability to accomplish whatever we put our minds to. So with that being said, I really am going to let you go now. And I will catch you guys in the next video, inshallah. If you want to be a part of it, definitely subscribe, share your thoughts below in a comment, like, share, do all the YouTube housekeeping, just so that I know that there's someone out there listening. Ma'asalama.